Today I just want to thank all those in the manufacturing sector in Northumberland who took the time to be here. Rob put the meeting together because supporting industry is such an important part of our plan so they can create jobs again. Good paychecks and better take-home pay. And when Rob suggested this, and Lisa Macleod, our energy critic from the Ottawa area, it reminded me a lot of my own hometown. I'm from a town, Fort Erie, that's very similar to Cobourg. And I remember growing up, a lot of my buddies, their mums or dads, they worked at the plant, they worked in industry. And we've lost 2 of those 5 jobs in Niagara, and I suspect it's similar here in the last 10 years. I just believe that a healthy, thriving industrial sector is the backbone for our economy, particularly in communities like Cobourg and Northumberland County. I've got a plan, it's called the Milligan Jobs Act. It includes 300,000 well-paying manufacturing jobs. Get taxes down, get energy rates under control, and less provincial debt. Well, times are tough. I'm excited about the future. I'm optimistic as we begin 2014. We can turn this around. We just need to put this plan into place.
Significantly higher than other plants of the similar size. So then we typically have...
And here's the reality, it's based on economic policies that have worked in the past in Ontario, and they're working across the world. It means getting taxes down to be among the best in Canada for attracting business investment. It means, as we discussed today, reliable and affordable energy rates so businesses have the confidence to hire and people can actually pay their energy bills again. And it involves knocking down all these walls of red tape and hassle and runaround. I want to see business leaders focusing on creating jobs and hiring men and women again, not in filling like useless government forms.
I hope that his interest may be in the global adjustment because as not to mention the trades, right? 200,000 high-skilled trades that Tim's proposing as well. Getting rid of these closed contract bidding and the unions who are stifling and running basically jobs out of this province. Tim has a plan. We've been very clear on that, Valerie, that those are going to be good paying jobs in the province. So add that 200 to the 300,000 manufacturing jobs that will come back, and then the spin-off jobs, you're looking at well over a million jobs. And energy is going to be huge, obviously, and that's why I think, I know it, we have Lisa Macleod, who is our energy critic, and you couldn't ask for a stronger voice or a better person for such an important role in caucus. Between Lisa and Tim, these are the 2 individuals. Of course, Tim is going to be the next premier of the province, and Lisa's going to be right by his side, and I'll be right there with them, hopefully, and we'll get this province back on track.
As well. So you stop throwing things into the blind box to begin with.
Tim has been very clear, abundantly clear since he's become our leader, that we cannot continue to subsidize this FIT program. We'll honor existing contracts, but in the future it's going to end under a Tim Hudak government, and we're hearing incredible support for that across the province, whether it's in southwestern, eastern Ontario, or even midwestern Ontario, and it's starting to have a direct impact on the power bills that people are paying in big cities like downtown Ottawa and downtown Toronto. So I think that we've been fairly consistent on where we stand on that, and very vocal on where we are on that. And I think Rob probably has a few things he'd like to add for the impact on his constituents.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, just to echo what Lisa and Tim have been saying right from day one, the microfit program is not an economically viable option for Ontario if we're going to create jobs. I mean, and locally here, we've also seen some issues, not just the economic impact on industry that it has, and we don't have all day to talk about that, but at some other time we can sit down and do that. But even just from the standpoint of the proposed sites here locally, where industrial wind turbines have been sited on the Oak Ridges Moraine, which is supposed to be protected areas, and there have been endangered species, of course, in those areas that, quite frankly, obviously this government has forgotten about. So.
It's a big issue for Robin, and he'll add to that. As a high school teacher, he's got some background on this. Let me just give you my top of mind on this. I think we tremendously undervalue the skilled trades in our education system. And our plan is to create at least 200,000 well-paying skilled trades jobs. Problem right now is many people are going through the system, but they're going out to Fort McMurray in Alberta, they're going to British Columbia. We heard a story today, a woman whose husband can't find a job here, so he's got a good paycheck coming to Fort McMurray, but that means he barely sees his teenage kids. I want to see the jobs back here. And part of our plan too to encourage more of this is if you got a job at the end of the day in Ontario, you're more likely to go through that training. But why don't we link our colleges back into the high schools? Give students a chance to earn a credit simultaneously towards their high school diploma and their college diploma. I think that will open their eyes to the incredible job opportunities because we know these are good, solid, middle-class jobs. This global adjustment is growing, it's unpredictable. It's like this,
We're looking at expanding it even more so. And I'm very proud to say when Lisa was the education critic and I was her deputy, we had Garfield Dunlop and Professor Rob Leone, who was looking at the colleges and university side of things. And we came up with some good ideas, I think, on how we can streamline that. And again, when I was teaching at the high school in Campbellford, when I was a student there, we had 8 tech teachers. Now we have 3. Campbellford. So what Tim has suggested and what Lisa and ourselves did with the education is streamline that, get the students back in, and those are good paying jobs like Tim said. I mean, it's, you know, I had some work done recently at the house and I had the local plumber out, and when I got the invoice I said to Maria, I said, well geez, are you going to Hawaii this year on vacation? I mean, you know, these are good paying jobs that traditionally we sort of frowned upon. You know, if you didn't go to university and get a degree in you know, at the university level, you weren't going to have a well-paying job. That's a myth, and that's no longer the case.
Last year,